Right? These are things they didn't have to even do. They didn't have to do it. They could have just kept a low profile. But there were these secret mikvahs and secret... There was a person who lived in Kfar Chabad here. His name was Raskin. He was the mohel, the one who circumcised my children. He said that he used to have, in his pocket, he had a hole. Always a hole in his pocket. And he was a mohel, and he was also a shochet. That he said all the time, he never carried the two knives with him. Only one knife. The knife for the circumcising a child. And he had a hole in his pocket, and he always kept this thing wrapped up in a cloth or something, so that if he felt that somebody was after him, as he would drop the knife through the hole in his pocket, and then he would just continue walking. And it wouldn't make any noise because it would fall with the thing was wrapped up in a cloth. He would walk, and he would keep walking, right? And then they would catch him. He wouldn't have a knife on him. So he said he lost, who knows, tens of knives that way. It was very hard to get a knife, right? Because in Russia, he lived in Russia, communist Russia. So he went to somewhere to circumcise a child. It was forbidden to circumcise a child. Right? It was forbidden to do circumcision. You can't do a religious act on somebody else. Right? Even on your children, they made it forbidden. You couldn't teach your children Torah or do some religious thing to initiate them into the religion. It was a forbidden thing. So why did he even do it? What did he have to do it? If they caught him, they would kill him. What did he have to do it for? What was the purpose? What was the purpose? He could sit home and learn Torah, and that's it. No. Self-sacrifice. But these same people, that they had this tremendous sacrifice, when they came, afterwards, limedinos, to countries, she'efshar, that it was possible, la'asok, to do, Torah and mitzvahs, to do Torah and the commandments, learn Torah and do the commandments, bitoch, from harchava, plenty, right? And as you can sit and learn all day, and you have a nice warm house, you can walk through the streets, say hello to people, you have a beard, in the streets you have your tzitzis out, no problem whatsoever. And the country even gives you money, helps you out, helps out the religious people. Ein nikar ba'em kol kach, it is not noticeable on them, hamasirut nefesh, the self-sacrifice, shahaya lahem, that they had mikodim, previously. It's not noticeable to them, the self-sacrifice that they had previously. Ki, because zeh, this sha'omdu, that they stood b'mesirus nefesh, in self-sacrifice, mashech, the course, kama shanim, many years, who is lefi, because she'ir, that there shined, bohem, in them, gilui, revealed, etzem and neshama, the essence of the soul, shelamayla, which is above, mikochot giluyim, above the revealed powers, that they were willing to self-sacrifice themselves. It meant what? That they just knocked out their personalities. They forget about who they were. They didn't think about their families, about their children, their grandchildren, their houses, their wives. They just were willing to do whatever the Rebbe said, sacrifice themselves to spread Judaism. But when there was no need, there was no pressure from the outside. So then, this ability of their soul that came from the essence of the soul, which is above their personality and above their character, this, sha'amdu, that they stood, b'mesirut nefesh, in self-sacrifice, meshech, the course, kama v'kama shani, many years, who is lefi, because she'ir, there shined bohem, in them, gilui, revealed, etzem and neshama, the essence of the soul, shelamayla, which is above, mikochot giluim, from any of their revealed powers. In other words, any of their personality or character traits. V'lo naseh, and there was not made al yedei zeh, by means of this, shinui, a change, b'kochot giluyim, in the revealed powers, atzmam, themselves. In other words, it didn't change their personality at all. They just turned off their whole personality, their whole character, even though their whole character and personality was very nice. They were very nice people, and they were very devoted people, and they were religious people, and they were nice people, and all these things were very, very good. They had good personalities. They weren't thieves or robbers or something like that. No, but all these things got in the way of their self-sacrifice. If you want to be self-sacrificing for Judaism, you can't think about being a nice guy or loving your children or your house. You have to think about one thing. I want godliness to be revealed. These children are going to learn Torah. If you get caught, they'll put you in jail. They'll put your children into an orphanage. They'll never have... The best thing is just to be quiet, keep it quiet. No, I'm not thinking about my children. I'm not thinking about this. We're good. But what happens when he leaves Russia, and then he is with his children, and then he has his family, and he has his job. So all of a sudden you see these people, there's no pressing need to be self-sacrificing. Right? There was certain exceptions. There was Rabbi Mendel Futefes. He was my mashpia here in Kfar Chabad. Mendel Futefes. He was chosen by the Rebbe. He wasn't like a sharp person. He wasn't always quoting from Maimorim and from the... And you didn't see that he was always sitting and learning. But on the other hand, what you did see is that he had this thing of self-sacrifice all the time. And I'll give you an example. When he got out of Siberia, he was sitting in Siberia for 7 years, and he was a known person even before that he had risked his life constantly to get passports for Jews to get out of Russia, and he forged passports. The whole big story, and got money for all these institutions to teach children, and he did a lot of other things that in secret. But when he got out of Russia, so he was free. He went to England and he opened up a business, and it was a good business. So, and then usually most people, they say, listen, I'm tired, I went through a tremendous ordeal when I was in Russia, and it was terrible. And I want to just take it easy, and I'll go and sit and learn Torah. No. Every opportunity, he went and he went and put tefillin on people. Not only that, he convinced the Satmar community over there. They usually, Satmar and Chabad, they don't get along usually so well. It's not that they're enemies, but they have different sort of philosophies about the Zionism, or how to deal with Zionism, how do you say, to correct the very tremendous problems caused by Zionism. So they have different ideas about what. Nevertheless, he convinced them that they should go out and also put tefillin on people. And he got money up, and they made a van. They bought like a minibus, and they took out all the chairs from the inside. And someone inside would stand. They put pictures around the inside, and someone inside would stand. The Rosh Yeshiva, one of the head of the Satmar community, would stand inside, and he would put tefillin on people, and Rabbi Mendel would stand outside and send people in. So you saw that it was an unheard of thing, and it was not it was a thing that would make you look bad in the eyes of a lot of the religious people. A religious person is supposed to be a nice guy, quiet, and smiles, and they take care of his own business. Doesn't go into other people's business. Here, he stood in the streets, and and self-sacrifice. Says the Rebbe, we see that a lot of the Jews, that when they were in Russia, they had tremendous self-sacrifice, but when they got out to a place where it wasn't demanded of them, they didn't have so much self-sacrifice. It didn't affect their personalities. Why is it that way? That in Russia they were fire, day, night, and when they got out, all of a sudden you see that they're not fire anymore, they're cooled off. Because that which they stood, b'mesiras nefesh and self-sacrifice. Meshech, the course, kama v'kama shanim, many years, who is lefi, because she'ir bayam, there shined in them, giloi, the revelation, etzem, of the essence, hanasham, of the soul, shalamayla, which is above, mikochos giluyim, from the revealed powers. V'lo nasa, and there was not made. Al yedei zeh, by means of this, shinoi, a change, b'kochos hagiluyim, and their revealed powers. In other words, their personality. It didn't make any change in their character, atzmam, at themselves. Their character was not changed. Okay, you with me?
Yes.
Yeah. The zeh, that this, she'etzem and neshama, that the fact that the essence of the soul, he is ha'etzem, the essence, shelahem, of them. The essence of my soul is the essence of me. It's not that I was willing to give my soul to end my life. The essence of the soul is my life. That is my life. Ve'ein zeh, this is not shayech, revealed, connected.
Rabbi, I think this
Yes?
a line.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, you're right. The essence of the soul, he is etzem, the essence, gam, also the kochas giluyim, of the revealed powers. And it was the essence of your soul, that you're willing to sacrifice your soul for God. That is also the essence of your character and your personality also. Like we said before, this is the essence of your whole being, who is she'etzem and neshama, but it can be in a way like this, that the essence of the soul, who is ha'etzem shelahem, their essence, ve'ein ze shayach, and this is not relevant, le'inyanam, to the natures, shell of kocha tagiluyim, of their personality or their character, atzmam, themselves. Relevant. In other words, what is a person's personality? What is a person's character? I don't know a better word to use. A person's intelligent, they have IQ. How intelligent you are. Good. What type of intelligence, what type of things you like to use your intelligence for. Then they have EQ, emotional quotient. Right? What type of things make you excited? What type of things do you love? What type of things you don't love? Right? Then how a person acts. Right? How you act. Sometimes you can be very intelligent. You can have certain things that you like, certain things that you love. But when it comes to interacting with other people, you act in a little bit different way. You're a little bit defensive, maybe a little bit offensive, maybe you're shy, maybe you're outgoing. That is what the introverted, and all these, what Freud understands, how a person's personality. Adler understands a person's personality. These different psychiatrists, psychologists, there's as many different methods as there are psychiatrists and psychologists. What is it? But still, that's analyzing how the person expresses himself, what the person thinks, what's going on inside, what's going on outside. That's a person's personality. That's his personality. That's his character. Sometimes some people are more religious, some people are less religious, some people are worried more about going to heaven, some people don't care about going to heaven. But then there's another thing. There's another thing which is called self-sacrifice. Self-sacrifice, right? All of a sudden, let's say Napoleon comes along. Napoleon says, we have to fight. We're making a war against Austria for liberty, fraternity, and equality in the name of France. All of a sudden, everybody drops all their personalities. They don't care about what they like and what they think and what they don't and what they do. All the things that they like and they don't, what type of clothes they like, whatever this. They're with their personalities, with their hang-ups and their neuroses and their psychoses and all the Adlers and these things, the whole thing. They get a gun, they get a uniform, everybody's uniform. Everybody is the same thing. Uniform means the same. The word uniform means to be the same. Everybody else is the same. You're a lieutenant. You are no longer whoever you are. You are no longer Pierre. You are now Lieutenant Pierre. Yes. Oh, stands up straight. What happened? What happened to the guy's personality? What happened? No, now you're going to war. War, you have to have self-sacrifice. You have to sacrifice for the country, for the idea. Yes. So he goes into war and he sacrifices himself and he shoots and he kills and he goes and he comes back, and if he doesn't have shell shock or whatever it is, then what does he do? He goes back to his old personality again. Right? He knows exactly what he likes, what he doesn't. He likes whatever it is, fencing, whatever the... What happened? He had self-sacrifice, but self-sacrifice, it was part of him, right? He's, more than anything, I'm a Frenchman. The German said, Deutschland über alles. Germany is over everything, right? You have to sacrifice your soul for Germany. But when the person came back, all of a sudden, like you see now in Germany, post-war Germany, even the people who were like generals in the army, all of a sudden they're nice guys. They have a spectacle store. They don't understand, how could I have done such a thing like that? Right? Lahavdil, to make a separate, the same thing with a Jew, a self-sacrificing Jew. Sacrifice your soul for God. For God. Forget about going to heaven. Forget about rewards. You have to do the truth. You have to make this world, change this world. Children have to learn Torah. I'll do it. He goes and does it. But then as soon as the war is over, he goes back to his own. It didn't change him at all. It aroused the essence of his soul. He was willing to give away everything else because it was lower than the... But it didn't really change the essence. It didn't change his personality at all. Whenever he had to self-sacrifice, he would do it. But that's a different thing. So that's what the Rebbe says. Hagiloi, the revelation, therefore it did not affect the tziur. It did not affect the how do you say, the nature, the form of them. It didn't affect the person's personality. Hagiloi, but the revelation. That's when the essence of the soul comes, is woken up because of outside pressure, because of a Stalin, because of a Haman. Then it doesn't affect the person's personality. But the revelation of the essence of the soul. Bezeh, from the fact. Shahu, that he is. Nishbar v'nidkeh, that he is broken and crushed. Mizeh, from this. Shahu nimsa b'galus, that he is found in exile. Who is Shagam, that also. Kochas giluim shalo, that even his revealed powers, in other words, his personality, his character, hatziur, the form, the picture, the kochas giluim of his revealed powers, right? How he comes out, who the person is, hem, they are, kamochad, they are one, ima etzem, with the essence. In other words, everything that he does, everything that he thinks, everything that he says, everything that he feels, every time that he reacts, everything that he does, thinks, feels, acts, is only because of one reason. What does God want? What does God want? Or more exactly, what does Moses want? Because what God wants, everybody can fool themselves, right? Every person can say what God wants is what I want. That God created me. Whatever I want is what God wants. Yitzhak Shlomo Hitler used to say, this is our destiny, right? This is our destiny. This is what the powers of above want, right? That we should win Germany over everyone. This is the way the Creator wants us. I don't know if you use those words, but that's right. He was a person that he believed that this was a higher power was directing this whole thing. So a person can always say, no matter what he does, right? Henry VIII killed all of his wives because he said that was what God wanted. According to the religion, you couldn't get divorced. So he said, I can kill my wives, I'll kill them all. Right? Divorce is forbidden. I'm a religious man, I'm not going to divorce my wife. What do you think I am, a Apicorus, and divorce my wife? I'll kill them all. So he killed all his wives. He said, that's what the Lord wants. If a person says, I'm going to do only what God wants, then everybody can make up their own thing. You can be a Reform rabbi. They also say, I'm doing what God wants. He's a rabbi. A Reformed Jewish rabbi, believes I'm doing it. If they believe in God, I don't know what they believe in, but this is what's right, right? This is what's right. The conservative rabbi, this is what's right. This is what a person can make out. Who decides really what a Jew is? What you're supposed to self-sacrifice? That's Moses. That's the job of Moses in every generation. It says that is the sign. That is the sign that your self-sacrifice is total, namely that it affects your personality. It affects all of the powers of your soul, all of your powers of your character are affected by the essence of the soul. In other words, everything that you do, everything that you are, you're always thinking about one thing. How can I make this world a place that God wants it to be? How can I make this world? It means every time you have a chance to say a word of Torah, you say it. Every time you have a chance to ask a person who wants to put on tefillin, you say it. Every time you make a person feel more comfortable, more at home, you do it, you say it. Right? In other words, the whole purpose of your being is only like Abraham. The whole thing is to make God's name known, to be an honest person, to be a pleasant person, everyone will see your example. Right? That's even more powerful than everything other things. Than putting on tefillin sometimes, just showing that you're a normal person, that you're a helpful person. That means that it has affected the essence of your personality. How do we do this? We're going to see this is what the previous Rebbe started, as we will continue, God willing, tomorrow.